As you've probably gathered by now, I'm very much an advocate of getting things done. Instead of thinking about a YouTube channel, I'm going to start it and learn along the way. If I have a video idea, I want to start making that video before I forget the idea. Remember, my personal philosophy, nothing beats experience. But eventually you're going to need a YouTube strategy. And so today I have some fundamental questions I want to ask you. Why are you on YouTube? Now, I suspect the majority of you will answer that question instinctively like this. I'm on YouTube because I want to start earning money and maybe turn this into a full-time job. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to make videos that people enjoy and learn something from. I want to become an influential person in a topic that I'm passionate about. I want to be on YouTube because I've seen my friends do it and they're getting lots of views and subscribers and I want to get the same thing. Now, granted, all of those examples are somewhat simplistic responses, and this is a little bit of a trick question because the way you're likely to answer it revolves all around you, the video creator, and not your audience. And that's what we need to do a 180 on. Yes, absolutely, 100% you can get a lot out of being a video creator on YouTube. But never let your audience think that you're more important than them. I'm going to be straight with you and a little cruel. To begin with, when you post videos on YouTube and the audience watches those videos, the audience doesn't care at all about you. They're there to get value from the content. Now, in time, as you build up more content and the audience becomes familiar with you, starts to trust you, and then builds up a relationship with you, then they will start to care about you and the success of your channel. But to begin with, and you've probably felt this, especially when somebody's recommended that you watch a certain channel, there will be a disconnect, a lack of an emotional connection, even a level of suspicion until you can make your own judgment about the content and the person presenting that content. So with all that being said, let's break this down into something that's going to help define your YouTube channel for your audience. Let's start with an easy question, which, like all of these questions, is going to require a little bit of thought to answer. Who is your target audience? Are they young? Are they old? Are they female? Are they male? Are they both? Are they LGBTQ? That is a huge community on YouTube. Are they professionals? Are they students? Are they particularly interested in sports or politics or gaming? That is another huge topic. As we've already established, YouTube is a monumentally huge platform. 2 billion monthly users. You can't appeal to every single one of those users. Even the largest channels, PewDiePie and T-Series, that have over 100 million subscribers, account for just 5% of the total audience. So your job as a new creator on YouTube is to narrow down that target audience as much as possible. And even with a tiny fraction of the YouTube audience, you are still appealing to millions of users. Now, of course, your target audience could change over time as you start to get feedback from your content, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to have an idea, at least to a certain degree, of who should be watching your content. Eventually, we're going to evolve this target audience concept into your YouTube niche, but that's a huge topic in itself, so we'll come back to that on another day. As you start to establish who should be watching your content, you'll soon find that there are already lots of video creators already in your space. The competition is fierce anywhere on YouTube. Think of ASMR, for example. That's been a blowout topic on YouTube in 2019, coming into 2020, but there are already hundreds of thousands of creators flooding that market. So the next question is, why should they watch your content? What makes you different on YouTube? If you try and replicate what's already out there, then unfortunately, the already well-established channels are going to remain the already well-established channels. You need to be a disruptor in the topic in some fashion. And that can only really be achieved by being uniquely you. Now, I will admit personally that this is still something that I wrestle with every single day, because whenever I press record, I seem to put on a different hat and act in a slightly different way in front of camera. And trying to get back to that natural, authentic feel is always a challenge to me. You will face those same challenges, especially if you feel unnatural and uncomfortable in front of a camera, as it's quite a unique experience if you've never done it before. But for others, they just take to it like a duck to water. When I talk about uniquely you, this isn't limited to your in front of camera presentation and personality. It extends to every single thing that you do with your videos. The way you shoot them, the way you animate them, the way you play games if you are a gamer, the way you involve your community. I think the best way to put this is as follows. Yes, your audience is hugely important. After all, you are making content for them. However, the moment you start to think about what their judgments are of you is when you start to not be uniquely you. The audience wants something different. They want something they can't get anywhere else, and they want you to succeed. And the only way you can do that is if you are really authentically, genuinely yourself. And that's where your inner strength and ultimately your superpower will come from. The next question to tackle is, how do you intend to deliver your content? Obviously, you've decided that YouTube is a distribution platform, but there still remains a lot of questions to be answered. Consistency is a key question. Now, that doesn't mean that you should post videos every single day if your target audience doesn't have time to watch your videos every single day. If you're appealing to parents, then maybe they've only got time to watch you at the weekend, so posting once a week on a Saturday or a Sunday night might be the best time. However, if you're a gaming channel and you're trying to appeal to a younger audience, they've probably got more time on their hands, and you can post every single day at around 5 PM when those people get back from school. Video length is also an important thing to consider. Generally speaking, people say that you should make longer videos to get more watch time. However, your audience may demand shorter videos, especially if you're an educational how-to channel. People just want to get answers to questions, and if they see a video on how to unblock a toilet, which is 20 minutes long, they're probably not going to want to watch that. They want to get their answer within 30 seconds because it is literally a dirty job they just want to get done. You also need to consider how time sensitive your information is. For example, if you're a tech channel who usually publishes at noon on a Saturday, but Apple announced their latest iPhone on a Tuesday, are you going to wait 5 days to tell your audience about this new iPhone? Probably not, because they'll get that information from somewhere else. In those cases, sometimes schedules go completely out of the window, and that's something that I've certainly been very sensitive to with YouTube information, and I've had lots of success by just getting content out there as soon as possible because a keyword has been trending. There's also quality versus quantity and the type of content that you're going to be making. If you're vlogging, then that tends to be a little rougher and on the move and not quite as professionally done, but sometimes that gives a more gritty, authentic feel to the content. Also, are you going to make regular on-demand videos or live streams? Because that can again have a huge impact on the type of audience that watches your content. A lot of gamers are very successful by live streaming, but at the same time, some gamers take the highlights from live streams or elsewhere and put them into a montage of a few minutes. Again, it can all depend on how your audience reacts to your content. Again, as you make videos, you'll start to get feedback about all of this through your analytics. But as we move into the strategy and the mindset of your channel, this is your daily challenge. Look at all of these questions again on screen and spend 5 minutes answering each of these, writing a bit down. As I've said, no doubt these will change over time, but at least if you have something down on paper, then it's something concrete to work towards rather than filming almost in the dark, so to speak. As always, we'll see you tomorrow.